As I said on Friday's Undisputed, Kawhi was not going to play in yesterday's Game 1, but does plan to play in Tuesday night's Game 2. Yet without him, the Clippers dominated yesterday's Game 1 here in L.A., leading by as many as 29, winning 109-97. Would you believe the Mavericks scored only 30 in the first half, only 8 in the second quarter? What? 8? So, Paul, what happened in your view to the Mavericks yesterday?
They just forgot how to play basketball. I mean, it was so mind-blowing that, like, a team that has been so potent on offense and defense come out the way they did. And then I saw Zubac look like Shaq Diesel. I'm like, is Shaq playing the way he just bullied the whole Mavericks team? And
he did.
All of a sudden, they couldn't score 30 points in the first half with two of the most dynamic scorers we've ever seen in this game. It just didn't make any sense. The Beard had a flashback. Zubac played the game of his life. And I just thought without Kawhi that, and with the way Dallas has been playing, that they would come out and really beat the Clippers. But it just didn't seem that way. I think James came out with something to prove. George Westbrook gave him a bolt of energy when he got in the game, and it was just lights out. And all you need sometimes in basketball is one quarter. I mean, they thoroughly dominated them in the first and second quarters. And then all of a sudden, the Mavericks remembered how to play basketball. And then Kyrie comes alive, and of course, Luka comes alive, and they figure some things out. But I still think in the end that the Mavericks will defeat the Clippers. It depends on how much they get from Kawhi, because I know Kawhi is coming back. But in the playoffs, when you have Luka, who gave me 0 points in the second quarter.
0.
That rarely
he's a scoring
happens.
machine.
I mean, he's the league's leading scorer. He's only done it 4 times in the playoffs, where he has a quarter to where he doesn't score. And he's played a lot of quarters. So I look at that as an aberration. And so I think they'll turn it around next game. It's hard for me to see Zubac looking like Shaq Diesel 2 games in a row. Harden could be Harden, hit or miss with him, especially when you got Kawhi coming back. But I think ultimately that Dallas will make some adjustments and get game 2.
So this is you got to stay focused, right? The playoffs. Your veteran guys have got to cash in, they got to deliver, they got to stay focused. And this is what I was talking to you about last week, Paul. And everybody's saying, oh, Harden, he did this in the Sixers in Boston, he could do it again. And we were saying if Kawhi is out, he has to now become the 2 versus the 3.
Second option now.
Second option. But he ain't the 1.
But he looked like the 1.
But he ain't the 1. He's the second option.
He played like the 1 in this game.
He can do those sort of things. And both from an assist standpoint, setting up the offense, and pulling the trigger, he was able to do all that. Okay, and then some. Now you say, well, Kawhi's coming back. There's going to be, they're going to have to adjust and figure out how to get Kawhi his shots and get involved. But they haven't played together enough this season where they understand what to do once Paul comes back, because he moves back into the 3rd spot. And now Kawhi either is going to be 1 or 2, depending on his health. But as I told y'all before, as y'all praised the Dallas Mavericks all season long, especially toward the end, they was playing teams that were not very good. They went on some magical carpet ride where they were winning games.
12 out of 13.
12 out of 13.
Yep.
And I kept saying, man, they got to play the Clippers. That's a better team than what they've been beating. Okay, and a better coach than what they've been beating. Now we saw it, and we still sit up here acting like they didn't contribute to the lack of success in the second quarter that Luka had. No, they contributed to it. Whatever that was, they contributed to the way that they played. Now, you say, well, they came back down the stretch. They never led not once in the entire game. That once upon a time, it was down by 29-30.
29.
Okay? So they contributed to the deficiencies of the Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks figured out something second half, though. They outscored the Clippers in the second half.
If I'm up by 30,
if you just take away that 8-point quarter, then Dallas... If you just take away the second quarter, Dallas wins the game. But, that's part of it.
You can't take it away.
But when I see them score 30 points in the third quarter, 34 points, and 33 points...
I'm up by 30. Yeah. I'm up by 30. So if you score 30 and I score 15, I'm still up.
Yeah, but I think they magically found something.
You lost. You didn't find nothing. nothing. What you found was Westbrook dunking on your head.
You know how it is in playoffs. You can go back and look at the tape and say, all right, this is what worked well for us in the second half. Now, this second quarter, we're going to throw that out the window because I don't know who we were. I don't even recognize this team. And so in the third quarter, we ran these plays. We got Kyrie the ball in this position to where he can be effective along with Luka Doncic. So now going into game 2, we're going to look at these plays and we say, all right, this is why Kyrie was effective. This is why Luka was effective in the second half. And so we're going to lean on that. And so if we can lean on that, maybe we'll have a chance. Now, you got to take some things away from the Clippers. You can't allow Zubac to look like Shaq Diesel, first of all. That was just
But how you going to do that? Who you going to do it with?
That was just well, Galper looked like he got hurt.
He did.
In the first quarter, he turned his quarter, and then
Paul
so that's
George
a big
rocked him.
That's a big piece of what they're trying to do out there. You know, he's one of the big men. Then they had to go with Kleber, who gave him. I don't know what that. Sometimes he looked like he was throwing the game for Dallas. I mean, he came down, fouled James Harden on the 3. Then the very next play, he turned the ball over, and I'm just like, they have no chance if he's playing like this. And then they got to give Derek Lively more of a chance, I feel like, more so than Kleber.
And the one X factor in all of it is, Skip, you hate it, but it's Westbrook. Dallas doesn't have somebody coming off their bench that can match that same intensity.
Dante Exum can match his talent. He can.
I didn't say anything about the talent.
Not the explosiveness.
I said the energy
I got it.
that you bring. And when he got that lob from Harden on the backside, you could just tell it just reaped through the entire organization, right, to the point where I thought they was going to have to do something with the owner. He was going so high. I'm like, man, y'all better calm him down.
No, I'm with you. But I'm also with Paul. The Mavericks will reassert themselves. They will win game 2, and they will win this series.
I promise you they won't win game 2. They're going back to Dallas down 2-0.
All right. We may have to put something down on that. But the point was, the Mavericks all said after the game, they prepared as if they expected Kawhi to play. And the joke is on them because he wasn't going to play. But as soon as they saw him come out in street clothes and sit down, you could see their mentality was, we got this. And the first play of the game, I said, uh-oh, the Mavericks aren't ready. If I could just show you what happened on the first play, because Kyrie, on a missed shot by Paul George, just stands and watches and lets Terrence Mann blow right by him and get the rebound and kick it back out to Amir Coffey, who just says, well, I'll take this, and I got this. They never trailed after that. That was it. That was like ball game right there. Kyrie just watched his man, Terrence Mann, who he just like Russell to me. He plays with extreme energy. He doesn't have Russ's personality. But to Paul's point, once they came back out after the second quarter, because they were embarrassed to 8 points, and Luka goes 0 for 5 and 0 for 2 from 3, that's impossibly wrong. I'm like Paul. I'm watching saying, I don't know who these people are, because it looked like Luka and Kyrie had never played basketball together. And I'm saying, what are you guys doing? They just weren't ready.
But sometimes, Skip, no matter how hard people want guys to be a certain way, when you arrive to certain situations, you shrink.
Okay.
That's just the reality of it.
What did Ty Lue tell the broadcast team that they kept repeating on the air is that we have to come out ready to play today, readier than ever to play today. And were they ever ready, starting with Big Zoo? Because it was a classic punch in the mouth. They were so much more physical than the Mavericks were that it was an embarrassment. And Keyshawn, it's like what's the old pop term? You have to play with appropriate fear. It's like you have to play good scared. You don't have your best player, so trust me, the Clippers are thinking we might get embarrassed in our own building by these guys.
The Clippers have been without Kawhi for a couple weeks now, and they've been playing the same way leading into the Dallas series.
This is Dallas. This is Luka and Kyrie.
I understand that, Skip. But if you go back and you look at the games that he's been out, they've been playing with the same fire and intensity with him out.
Okay, I'm with you. But if you look at the second half box, you should take it to your bank because Jason Kidd's going to take his.
That's what you're going to look at.
Look, Kyrie goes 9 of 12 in the second half, makes all 3 of his threes, and Luka goes 7 of 13 and makes 3 out of 5 threes. That's 25 and 22 points just in the second half alone. They're going to say, that worked, and that worked.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Yeah, and I'm down by 30, so it's going to work because they're lagging off of me.
Okay. 12.
All right.
No, I'm saying they lagging off of me. So them shots are gonna be clean.
And to Denver,
they're not playing that
Dallas's
defense.
credit, they held the Clippers to 22 points in the second quarter and the fourth quarter. That's pretty damn good in the NBA game.
And they
That's
outscored
pretty
them
damn good.
67
The
to
only
53 in the second half.
Yeah, the only thing is they only scored 8 in the second quarter. If you allow a team, think about this, you allow 22 points in a quarter, that's pretty good defense. And by NBA standards today, when the average points per game is probably like 110 to 15 points a game.
Yeah.
22 points, if you can hold them to under 25, that's always been the goal when I play. We can hold them to under 25 points in a quarter.
Yeah, but if you hold me under 25 and I hold you under 16, guess what?
Well,
I'm still up.
If you look in the
I'm
third,
still up.
if you look in the third and fourth quarters where Dallas scored 34 points and 33 points, they found something.
Yeah.
So this is what they're going to do today. And
But I'm up, though, Paul.
they looking at film this morning. Yeah, you up, but you still
So
got
I'm not even playing at the same level as I was playing in the first quarter as I did in the third quarter because I'm up. I got all this cushion.
Right.
All right.
I see what you're saying.
Now to your man, my old friend Westbrook. I don't know what possessed him yesterday, but every time he scored, he's screaming at somebody in the crowd. And I'm saying, wait a second, it's your home game. Like, who antagonized you in the crowd? It'd be one side of the crowd, then it'd be the other side of the crowd. I think we got
I don't think it was anybody intentional. That's just him.
I don't know. He's pointing.
No, he just getting hyped.
Pointing.
No, that's just they always getting hyped.
No, he's got something going on with somebody. I don't know what he's doing.
I knew it was over when Westbrook.
See, he's pointing to somebody.
Is that his bench?
That's
their bench.
That's
their bench. No, that's the Clippers bench.